Well, go on, pussies. Today we're going to be looking at the soft trucks, a product that I thought had pretty much no relevance or no use in the skate scene. But today I'm going to try and find the good in it, give it a proper test, put it on this Misfits board right here, matching the shoes. Didn't even mean that to happen. But basically, if you don't know, a soft truck is exactly what it says on the tin. It's like a normal truck, but it's got no wheels. And guess what? It's soft. What we're going to do is we're going to put this on the bottom of the board. That's not the bottom, in case you didn't know. Take that bit out of the video. Or maybe leave it in now, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put those on. We've got two of them. It's not just a single piece. Where's the other piece? Right, as you can see, we have two of these. And what you basically do with these is you put them on the board just as you would a normal pair of trucks. Worth noting that I tried to do this in a previous video, but I couldn't put them on because the bolts weren't long enough. Like normal standard truck bolts were not long enough to put these on. So I had to source some extra long boys to put into here, because otherwise you can't even put the nut on the other side. So we've got these, we've got 4 of them, 2 for each, because we're on a budget here. So with all that being said, let's go through the setup process. Right, so like I said, extra long bolts required. We've got our Misfits board here that we set up with some hexagon white and black grip tape. This is one of my favorite grip jobs I've ever done. We actually had this in a giveaway, but the person who won it never claimed it. So if you want a chance to win this board, I'm gonna give it away at the end of this video instead. So make sure you don't go anywhere for that. This is gonna be a fairly short one, so I'm not gonna take too much of your time, because to be honest, I don't think there's too much to go over with these, but we're gonna give them the best shot anyway. Because you know me, I like to try and find the good in things. Now, I don't know if it matters which way you put them on. I don't really think it does, because at the end of the day, they're just gonna sit on the floor, but I'm gonna try and force our way in with these. The thing is, the annoying thing about these is the holes on the bottom are so small compared to the other side. So it's very difficult to actually get them to go in. So I'm gonna try one at a time instead. To get them into the rubber is a proper mission, man. And that's not even the right goddamn way. Okay, so this is the way to do it. Okay, so probably gotta force that bad boy in there. Ugh. Go in, god damn you. This is a mission, man. Why won't it go in? Right, we're gonna have to go feet first. We're gonna have to make like your favourite fetish and go feet first. It actually won't come out nor go in now. We're stuck in limbo. We've got one side in, so I don't want to take that side out. Right, so I'm gonna try and line it up with the hole. Put it in from this side first. It just literally will not go through this hole. I've never had to berth a bolt before, but hopefully that would have opened up the hole a bit, because I feel like it did break through a bit. Oh my god, if this hasn't put you off already, I don't know what will.
They should have like made the holes a bit wider.
I know, it's so difficult to get it out again. Why is these are like 45 quid, man? Okay, it's going. Oh, look at the dents on my fingers from that.
The satisfied sound you made when it came out like you just birthed shit.
I've literally never had such trouble trying to set something up before. Right, let's try and keep it in place by putting this one on here. And so, you know, someone in the comments will be like, actually, you're meant to do this, 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 and this, and then it goes in smoothly. Honestly, the hole on the back side of it is tiny. Let's get it through! Yes! Never have I worked so hard for something that will likely be so shit.
How are you going to get them off when you're done?
Well, I guess we're giving away the whole setup. Yeah, I ain't going through this again. Whoever wins this board is getting the whole thing, soft trucks included. So on the other truck, I'm looking through the hole, and you can see how the bit on this side, like the hole on this side, is way bigger than it is on the other side. It literally goes in like a tunnel and shrinks at the other side. And by the way, they don't come with any like bolts or anything, so they don't give you anything to go through. They say in their description that you just put them on like normal trucks, so you would assume that you would use normal bolts. First of all, you can't get normal bolts through, because like I said earlier, they're too short. And now we're figuring out that you can't even freaking get these through, really, because you have to berth it from that side. Look, I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to hammer it back through to see if we can actually fucking make the hole big enough. Like literally, if I was a kid, when I was a little kid, it took me so long to just set up a board normally anyway. If I was trying to set something up with these thinking it was going to help me, God, I'd never be able to do it. And I'm a certified gym head. Right, so after jimmying the bolt through on both sides beforehand, it actually did make it so much easier to get it through, but oh my god, why would you make it like that? So now we actually got the second one through with much less stress. Okay, now we should be able to just set her up like a normal board. The bolts are so long, so it takes bloody ages to tighten them up. So once you've done that, the bolts actually do go in all right. Just remember, you do need the extra long ones, because if you don't, it ain't gonna go in at all. But so far, the setup process gets a 2 out of 5 Tonys. If you didn't know what you were doing or you hadn't watched this video, my god, you'd be stressing, because I certainly was. Okay, they're on. Was that quick and easy? Certainly not. But on the board, they don't look too bad, to be honest. Are they on the right way? God, if I care. They're on. That's all that matters. But now, we try and find a use for them, which may or may not be easy. But either way, we're going to try some tricks, see if they do help us, and see if they're worth the £45 price tag that they are on Amazon. So as you see on the board, they look pretty all right. That's not too bad. Like, to have this as a practice board, if you would have just put one of your old skateboards, because it doesn't really need to be a new one, does it? Just put one of your old skateboards with the soft trucks, maybe have it as like a little practice thing in the garden. I can see that that might be all right if you keep them on there full time, but if you're doing it just to try and learn something like an ollie, you can get a nice pop because they do have quite a bit of height on them. I'd say that it actually makes the board a bit higher than normal trucks do. And they work pretty all right, it seems. That was actually not too bad, actually. So for tricks and stuff, from what I'm getting off the first few attempts, can't really complain. Get a shove it down, get a front shove it. Although, actually, to be fair, if you want these for stability when you land, they actually do feel pretty good. Like, you can still do that with them. So they're not as limiting as like skate trainers or something like that. You certainly ain't pushing anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, so exactly from what Holly just said, if you are a beginner and you don't have the best balance on a skateboard yet, this would be actually kind of perfect for you, I think, because obviously trucks, you can loosen them, you can tighten them, but you're still going to have a bit of wobble, whereas these, you're not going to get that. You can lift them up on either side. The only thing is, if you land with your weight forward, you're just going to step off and not slide off, which is pretty better for most people, to be honest. Any trick suggestions?
Tray flip.
Holly asked for a tray flip. Actually, I'm feeling some sort of like the scoop on the board. Normally for a tray flip, you would get the scoop because the wheels would slide along with it. There's no scoop on these. You're kind of just popping straight off the ground because the board just goes straight down instead of like what you would not want for a tray flip where it goes like kind of under you and to the side, like a scoop motion. So yeah, to be honest, for tray flips, I'd actually say these are kind of hindering me a little bit. Just to prove it though, we'll go for a quick tray flip on here, and then we'll do one on that straight afterwards and see if the difference is me or the board. Can never do tricks with glasses on, I swear to God. Especially when all you can see is frames in your peripheral. It really puts me off. See, tray flip's fine on that, and I'll do the exact same thing on here. Okay. It's not as bad as I once thought. Maybe I just needed to warm up the legs a bit, but still, it does feel like you have to flick way more to get the board to flip, which you don't have to do on a regular board because of the scoop motion that you can get. Yeah, you can definitely do it. It just feels like it requires way more effort. Yeah, and if you were gonna land primo, as you can see, it just pings away instead. It's kind of like a safety precaution. Okay, I would say maybe not the best for learning tray flips and stuff, because on the normal board, it's just way easier to get the scoop and flip at the same time, whereas on this, it just doesn't seem to work anywhere near as nice. All right, let's take it over to the bench and see if it works for locking into truck stuff. So if you've made it this far, you're certainly an OG viewer. If you want a chance of winning this Misfit board, all you gotta do is comment your honest opinion on the soft trucks down below and make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Let's get back to the video. Okay, first of all, rubber is just kind of bouncing me off the ledge once I hit onto it. And I mean, like, if you're gonna jump onto the ledge, you wanna be able to jump off and get away if things don't go right. And these are kind of stopping that from happening because I can't then zoom myself off and get away like I would normally want to. Once you land on there, you're fine if you're gonna stay on there. But when are you ever gonna jump on a ledge and just sit on it? You wanna either grind or get off it. And look, as you can see, they like hook to the sides. See that? That hook like that instead of like being on like this. So normally where you could make the adjustment if you landed on with a normal pair of trucks, you can't quite do that on this. They kind of hold you back if anything. So, and as you can see, like every time you don't land on it properly, you just land like this. And that's not going to do you any good if you're actually trying to learn something. Like if anything, these are going to hold you back. Let me get my normal board. Okay, so trying out on my normal board. As you can see, you can just get on, get off. If you don't land on there properly, you're going to be totally fine still. And if you don't land on there, you can just step straight off. Obviously, you can do a similar thing on there, but I feel like the margin for error is actually a lot smaller on a normal board than it is on that. And for practicing something like this, having no wheels is really probably going to hold you back more than it's going to help you. It seems way more manageable on this board, and you seem way less likely to actually fall if you try and step backwards onto the board, because you can roll away if you need to. See how easy and smooth that was now that I've got wheels to roll away? If I'd have done that on this, not only does the bounciness of the trucks ping you off the side, you've also got no maneuverability when you want to get off. So for ledges, I don't think these are going to help you at all. Right, so what do I think of the soft trucks overall? Personally, I think that if you're that worried about the board shooting out from underneath you and you want something to stop that from happening, these aren't going to be the best and certainly not the most cost-effective way to do so. There are multiple things you can do. I'm going to give you a few examples now to not bother wasting your money on these. The first one is if you want to practice popping off the concrete but landing with some stability. Babes, go over there. You can put your board right next to the grass, and if you want to practice ollie, for example, just ollie into the grass, and you get the exact same effect, but you got to pop off the concrete with normal wheels, and it's a great in-between way to practice. If you want to go even more beginner than that, you can put your wheels straight in the grass from the start. Don't get quite as nice a pop because obviously you're not on the concrete, but you get the exact same effect as those are. And finally, if you do want to buy a little additional DLC product to help you along, skate trainers are a lot cheaper. These are only £20, less than half the price. And what these are plastic cages you put over your wheels to stop you from moving, and you can take them on and off so easily. Like for example, you just open them up like that, chuck it on your wheel, and all of a sudden you get the exact same effect for half the price, and they're so much easier to take off and on. You don't need to have a separate board just to use the trucks on. You don't need to get longer bolts, and you don't need to spend all that hassle actually trying to get them through the holes like I did. Would I recommend soft trucks? No, I definitely wouldn't. Would I recommend these? These are for a very select group of people that are maybe a little bit too anxious to get to know skateboarding at the start and want to have something to fall back on in case they fall. And I totally get that. For 90% of people though, these aren't even going to help. You might as well just learn it normally, because to be honest, if anything, you're going to spend way more time falling over than you are actually riding away clean from a trick. So just practice on your normal wheels. Use the grass technique I just showed you. Get those if you really need something, but the soft trucks really aren't for me.